The 18 things you need to know about to survive A2 media. I used a mixture of technologies to help me in each stage of my project, and I'm going to go through all of the things I used and what I thought about them. One of the main pieces of technology that I use to every step of my process is my camera. The camera I use for all my filming is the Panasonic Lumix DMC FZ200. I found it very easy to use with a good quick focus and an anti-shake feature, which meant that my shaking hands weren't as much of a problem as they could have been. It had a very long battery life, which meant that I could go on 1 or 2 whole days filming without worrying about it running out. Overall, I found it to be a very good camera. Sometimes the quality of the film it produced was not as good quality as I would have liked, and in an ideal world I would have bought a more expensive camera with better quality footage and a better zoom and focus. However, on my student budget, it was extremely effective and useful. Tripod. The tripod I used was the Velborn DF61 heavy duty aluminium photo/video tripod. It had a bubble level for fine adjustment and it moved very smoothly. Yet again, in an ideal world, I would have got a more expensive tripod which was safer, stronger and lighter weight, so it was easy to take to all my different locations. But the tripod I did have was sturdy and held my camera tightly, which meant that when I took some of my CCTV footage, I could safely lift my tripod up without worrying about my camera falling off, which was invaluable for me. Memory card. I used a memory card which had quite a lot of storage. However, the main bonus for me was a quick writing speed, which meant that I knew my work was quickly and safely being put onto my memory card. iPhone. Throughout my project, I used my iPhone to take location shots, shots of filming, and just other quick pictures. It has been easier to use my smartphone to take a quick picture, which I always have on me, and then set up my camera. Software. I used Adobe Creative Cloud, and the Adobe projects I used from that were Premiere Pro, After Effects, and Photoshop, and they were very high standard. Premiere Pro. I used Premiere Pro to create my trailer and all my research planning videos. I have never used Premiere Pro before. However, with some research, I found it to be the most advanced software there is for editing, and it is used in the industry, so I found that it would be the best software. Because I'd never used it before, the very professional features were slightly daunting to begin with. However, after some time, I found that with the help of online tutorials, it was easily enough used. The main features I used were the editing tools, where I was able to cut, add some small transitions and put together footage. Because I was new to making videos and editing them, I used the fast colour correction tool to colour correct. However, given more time, I would have tackled the process of learning to use all the elements of colour correction to make my video as good as possible. I created my fish lens tool using a shape and the opacity tool. Many very simple effects on Premiere Pro can be very effective and useful. I also used the crop tool to create many of my glitch effects. As I layered up the video and only used small sections of it, and by using the opacity tool, I was able to blend it into the video, and then by moving it in different shots, I was able to create a glitch. I would highly recommend Adobe Premiere Pro to anyone planning on creating any videos in the future, as although it can be initially daunting, it's an extremely good tool which creates very polished work. After Effects. I used Adobe After Effects to create 3 main features of my work: the binary text, the turning on the TV effect at the beginning, and the CCT video effects. All 3 of these effects were vital for my video as they helped create the link with technology, which was vital for the message of my film to be put across. For the CCTV video effect, I used the vignette tool, night vision tool, and the timecode tool. This put together created the gloomy black and white CCTV footage. The tools were easy to select. However, without an online tutorial, I would never have known what to use, as the actual software is very complex and without careful instruction it would be very difficult to use. The binary text I created was created via the character offset tool, which once again was shown to me. The turning on TV effect was created by using the mapping feature, which I knew about from my other effects and the use of shapes. In conclusion, After Effects creates amazing effects. If you had not used it before, it's probably best to try and investigate another effects software which is simpler and more user-friendly. Adobe Photoshop. I have used Photoshop in the past to edit pictures for my AS Media piece and in other aspects of my education and life. However, for this project, I used Photoshop to put together my poster. The main tools I used were the text tool, where I was able to create different writing, edit the font, size, colour, stroke, and more, which enabled me to completely customise my writing. I used the layer opacity tool to make layers which weren't important as the title fade into the background. The layer system was extremely useful to me in order to layer things on top of one another effectively. Overall, I found Adobe Photoshop to be an extremely effective tool which enabled me to create a very professional looking poster simply and reasonably quickly. Wix. Wix was invaluable to me in my creating process. I used it to present all my work in one easy to use portfolio. In previous years, I used Blogger. However, the look of the website was very amateurish and the pages were very difficult to order, whereas with Wix, it has enabled me to create extremely professional portfolio of media work. I also used it to create my film website, as I knew how to use it extremely well, so I knew it was the best software to use and to create the best website. MyMapFree.com. MyMapFree.com is an online software which I use to mind map my initial thoughts on things. The use of colour on the software made it interesting to look over, and the easy to use format meant I could use as many words or phrases as I wished. It was neater, more legible and more interesting than a spider diagram done on paper, making it a very valuable piece of software. Prezi. Prezi is an online software which creates a smoother and more interesting slideshow. It was very useful when I needed to convey large amounts of information without boring my audience, as the movement kept the audience going through the information. It is free, easy to use, and therefore very useful. Similar to Vimeo, is a limit on storage, so I knew I'd never be able to make too many prezzies, which was kind of positive as it enabled me to use as many different softwares as possible to make my work as interesting as possible. Emaze. Emaze is a similar software to Prezi as it is an online slideshow. I used it as a substitute for Prezi. However, I found it to be slightly easier to use, so it was very good for making things quickly and smoothly. It also provides more of a structure than Prezi, and so I used it for my pitch as I wanted to be able to create a business-like pitch. Facebook. I use Facebook to get feedback, but also to promote my video as I would for real media products. I created a Facebook page for the Enlightened movie, where I posted my video, links to my website, and images of my poster to further link all three of my pieces. I also used Facebook to get feedback from my target audience. I would post things and ask for feedback. Since I am friends on Facebook with many people who fall within my target audience, this was a highly effective feedback tool. Vimeo and YouTube. I've used YouTube in the past for uploading videos, therefore I was familiar with its layout, and because it is so widely used, easy to use, and there is no limit on amount of videos, I use it for the majority of my videos. However, when I uploaded my final piece, I found that the colours were not the same as they were on my Premiere Pro when I exported it. But when I tried Vimeo, I found the colours were as rich as I wanted them to be, so I used this for a few of my videos where the colours were important. Given the choice, I would have used Vimeo for all my videos as after I tried it, but there is a limit on free uploads, so in the end I used a mixture of Vimeo and YouTube. If I had never-ending funds to create my video, I would probably have bought a Vimeo package and used it for all my videos. SurveyNut. I used it on 2 separate occasions to get feedback from my target audience. I found it extremely useful as it was digital and easier for people to do, and less time-consuming for me, because I didn't have to go and find them and they could complete it when it feels easiest for them. Clip Converter. For my evaluation questions, I needed to compare videos by using Clip Converter, I was able to download trailers which were vital in my research and planning stages to display it alongside my own videos for comparative purposes. QuickTime Recorder. I use this to fill my screen and my own voice for the evaluations, but also to film looking at websites, looking at posters, and film construction, and just generally record things. MacBook. When I started my immediate A2 project, I bought a MacBook 13-inch to do all my work on, and this is the biggest tip I can pass on to any future media students, as without it I can honestly say that my work would have been nowhere near the quality it is. It was fast, has plenty of storage room, has lots of different apps which helped me in the making process. I was able to download Premiere Pro and my Mac could keep up with the speed of the work. Get a Mac is my advice. I couldn't have done it without it. That's all the things I think you need for Media A2. Thanks for listening and good luck.